I gotta love it.
Oh, is this regarding my haircut?
Oh, no, I just thought it was a fun song. Why? Did you do something to your hair?
No, I'm just not really, I haven't really styled it like I'd like to today.
Yeah. I thought you looked different, but I thought maybe you got new glasses.
No, I didn't get new glasses.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Q&A with
Q&K.
I'm Kat Rockwell, and this is the lovely and talented and
even lovelier
Quentin Rockwell, and we're happy you joined us tonight. Just waiting for this train wreck to happen. So creepy, stop it.
It's like little hair antennas.
It is, yeah. Okay, I told him if he wants to talk to me, if y'all just do that to your screen, it'll all be okay. So, we have a wonderful show for you planned tonight, just for you. Not you, but you. Just to make that clear.
Because you know who you are.
You do. Okay, so tonight we are talking about the word of the day that Quentin's going to say because...
Gentrification.
Gentrification.
Yeah, and Shayla says that she doesn't know how you sleep next to me at night.
Turn around, and I'm little spoon. That's how you do it. You be the little spoon.
Just close your eyes. You don't have to look at it,
Say,
right?
it'll be over at the end of the week. It'll be over at the end of the week.
No.
That's what we do. So, okay, let's get to it. Y'all ready for some real estate? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready for some real estate. Woohoo! Okay. So, we've got a lot going on in Houston. The flood really hasn't slowed down the real estate market.
It has not.
Nope. So we're going to talk about this gentrification tonight and some of the hot neighborhoods that maybe you've already heard are being developed. Maybe you've already personally seen they're being developed, but maybe you don't know what's going on, especially all the, suburbanites that don't get into the inner parts, except for once or twice a year. So,
if they have to.
If they have to, if you want to go to the zoo or something. So, let's get to it.
I'm sorry. Melissa, I was in a class with her today and regarding contracts and different things, changes, whatnot.
Yeah.
And, she was saying she got to stare at the back of my head all day. Yes, she did.
Melissa.
There were quite a few people that were like, oh, there is a smiley face.
There is a smiley face. All right.
Gentrification.
Of Quentin's head.
That'll be Saturday.
That'll be Saturday, yes.
Well, why don't you tell us what gentrification is?
So, gentrification, can I just say it in real estate, like flat out layman terms?
Yes.
Okay. You go into typically an older part of town, and somewhat gradually, but necessarily in a development sense of way, knock down or redevelop the neighborhood so it's appealing to middle and upper class.
Modernize,
upgrade,
like
rejuvenate an area. But I think gentrification does have more to do with more just an intentional development that's happening to a typically older established area or neighborhood. So.
And why is gentrification going on?
So, because we're tired of hour-plus long commutes, right? So people don't, not everybody, lots of commuters out there in Houston, apparently, but people want that to live in an area that offers walkability, that offers everything right there close to it.
And something that's closer into town, especially those people that work in downtown or Galleria or medical center.
Yeah.
They want to be able to, be a little bit closer in. And that what you were talking about, how the Harvey did not really, it was like a minor little stub your toe
and we
as
don't,
you're walking in the middle of the night.
We don't say that to diminish what's happening to flooded
Obviously
homes
not.
or anything like that. That's not. We are talking about the market as a whole. People are still coming to Houston and buying. People are still selling. So
that's what I was going to say. Because
Yeah.
people are still flooding into Texas and flooding into Houston. Mostly, I would say mostly because of the things that I've seen. It's because of our lower taxes. I mean,
yeah.
People are coming into Houston and coming into Texas and as a whole.
Yeah.
Not just taxes, also just lower cost of living. Then it's less expensive to live here than in Chicago. Anywho.
I'm laughing at Kat Soika talking about her marriage being a act of gentrification.
Bob is getting gentrified. Look at me! Look at that! Look at that! That was nice, huh? That's cool, all right?
So anyway, well, let me back up a second. You know, more and more, granted, we've got businesses coming out to the suburbs, which is awesome, but more and more, because you've got the medical center, you've got this hub still close to downtown, you've got more and more people who don't want to make a huge commute, and they want to pay the price to live closer down there. So, what's hot and what's not?
Obviously, we're going to skip, like one particular area. I mean, the Heights. I mean, that's just kind of been that going through that whole thing for I don't know how many years. But I mean, it's constantly doing something.
Right.
But there's some other areas like Garden Oaks, Spring Branch.
Yeah.
I would even say like the near North Lindale Park area. A lot of that stuff's coming in, kind of like Northline Mall. There's just a lot of things that are coming out, and it's just kind of moving as areas get gentrified.
Yeah.
They move out.
We say, okay, too expensive in the Heights now, let's move over and buy this land over here, and which is affordable now, let's redevelop it and pay an upscale fee for it.
Pay an upscale fee for it.
You know, but there's some good, you mentioned Garden Oaks. Now granted, if you haven't driven through Garden Oaks lately, you just may want to, okay? Because you've got perhaps a $150,000 house that was built in the 50s next to an $800,000 home.
Yep.
So, most of those homes, they're beautiful, but it's a great neighborhood. But what that's doing is a lot of the surrounding communities or surrounding neighborhoods that haven't necessarily been knocked down and rebuilt, but they've just been maintained. The neighborhoods themselves, the communities have taken care of their community, so those prices are rising, especially because it's a convenience thing. So
and a couple of you even said stuff like 6th Ward. I'd even say even like around different areas around U of H. All the different neighborhoods, all these neighborhoods, they're all being built up. And like Spring Branch, and somebody said that there are parts that are scary. Yeah, there is, and that's kind of, and obviously 3rd Ward and all the areas around downtown and all that stuff. There's some parts that are scary, but they're getting built up. People are buying them up. People are developing the area.
Yeah. So there's pros and cons to getting in there early, because then, you're going to be in a neighborhood that maybe you don't want to necessarily live in, but you get in there early and you get that early real estate value, which is typically lower. And then once these developers and investors come in, those prices are going to increase. So you can come in later where it's nice and a convenient neighborhood, but you're going to pay the price for it. So these early adopters.
It's definitely a buy and hold situation. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a flip. I mean, it would be a flip in, a few years maybe, but I mean, it's not a flip like you see on TV, like in 30 days and all that
30
stuff.
30 minutes.
I know, right? But so there's a lot of those. There's a lot of areas that are building up. Another one is Edo, which I feel really like a schmuck saying Edo.
Edo. We recommend a great Vietnamese restaurant in Edo.
Yep, they were really good. What was the name of the place? It's right by Warehouse.
I don't know. We should probably know the name of it.
I know. It's right by Warehouse Live. It's right across the street from Warehouse Live. It was really good.
Yeah.
And, but Edo, East Downtown. There's a lot, like all the areas around, like, well, East Downtown, BBVA, and all sorts of stuff.
You've got the soccer stadium, Minute Maid Park.
Boom.
Now has a positive connotation to it because we won the World Series.
Well,
which is,
now that we won the World Series.
Now, so I was like, oh, Minute Maid Park, we're going to live by the Astros. Because you actually want to go to an Astros game now.
Yes. And matter of fact, when we have a property that it's actually it's listing where we're listing it this week. We're putting it on MLS later on in a few days.
Yeah.
But it's on the market, and it's an Edo. It's on Garrow Street, and it's a corner lot right across the street, kind of catty corner to a park, right, really close to the Baylor College Medicine and Science or Technology, Medical Technology, something I can't remember right now. But, it's in a prime location, and a lot of areas around, a lot of the land around the place is people are knocking down the houses that were built 50, 60 years ago, and they're building up, like, these nice townhomes and, 3 and 4 level buildings and stuff, and they're building up all around that area.
Yeah.
So, we've got a property, 3104 Garrow, Garrow.
Yeah. And, already sold. Kat's gonna buy it.
Sweet.
Thanks. That was easy.
Sweet. Didn't even take photos yet. We were doing that in the morning. Well, now we don't have to go there. We'll just go to your house.
She feels like getting gentrified tonight. Oh, wait. Hold on. That sounded... I'm sorry.
Yeah. Drink coffee.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's all I was just going to say. There's a lot of these areas, especially like Edo. I feel really weird saying that. Edo.
It is Edo. And not Edu, which you may be tempted to say Edu, but it's Edo. So this is, in my opinion, this is the new Midtown. Okay, Midtown's already been wiped out and built up. This is the new Midtown. So you've still got close proximity to all of your downtown destinations. You've got close proximity to the light rail. The light rail's expanding. So that's what the dealio is that. So I'm going to throw into just $290, okay? By the time we have grandchildren, it will be finished. No,
then they'll have to start over.
And then they'll have to start over.
Now we need to make it a double-decker.
Guys, we're closer to the end. If you don't read, I highly recommend you reading Community Impact because they constantly have updates on the 290 project. But it's getting there. It's getting there. I don't know when their projected finishes, but it's almost there.
It's funny. I remember when I was a kid. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I remember the pastor of our church talking on a Sunday. David Kent, good dude. I don't know. He may be watching, actually. But I remember him saying something about I-10 and how seems like it'll never be done. And when did it finish? Not too long ago.
Yeah.
But I was a little kid. I just remember him saying something about how I think it was something like probably Jesus would come back before it's done.
Yeah.
Well, guess not.
Yeah.
But
real quick, Annette brought up a good point. If someone rebuilds, knocks down property that flooded and rebuilds it, do they have to disclose that it flooded? So tricky question right there, because it depends on who's building.
Well, there would still have to be, did the property, I think that's the terminology, did the property flood? If the house flooded, but the house is...
And a great sign of that
dumpster somewhere.
Is if that brand new house is in the middle of homes that are, not new, then that's your sign right there that obviously this was a tear down, to find out why is this brand new home right in the middle of everything else. So,
and I would say if you are the person that builds that house, build your house higher.
Higher.
At least higher than your neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah. So
let them get your runoff.
Yeah. So should they disclose it? I would definitely recommend that my client discloses it.
If it's the property, if the property flooded, then the property flooded. If the house flooded, I mean, you can state in the disclosure, the property flooded and the old house flooded, but we've knocked that down, built this up. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's exactly how, like, I would recommend marketing it. Like, hey, we raised it this much compared to the last house. And so, that's it.
So was it?
Oh, I was going to say also, because we've got the insurance report that you can reference too, because Leo just brought it up. Like, is there a house equivalence to like Carfax? And there are insurance reports that your insurance agent can produce for you to say, yes, this property had a claim on it, but it's only if a claim was made.
And then but the sellers are also, they're supposed to disclose if a claim has ever been made. Yeah. For insurance purposes. It may be a loophole as far as if it was the old house, but it was on that property. But there's also FEMA flood maps, and they've got if it's flood zones, and you can look up. You can look up historical maps and see if it was in a flooded area. So there's a whole lot of different ways that you can go about finding information. Yeah,
but your property insurance agent is the go-to for that because they have access to those. Oh yeah, reports.
It's the quickest and easiest way to find stuff. If there was something, boom. If there was a claim, boom, there it is. Boom. If it's not, then you just have to do a little bit more digging. It's kind of the whole.
Yeah, because if people are going to lie, they're going to lie, and.
Well, then that's fraud, and they get
and they get sued, and that's not fun. And it's not fun for you though. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, we wanted to just talk about those developments because if you have not, if you haven't been sort of in the city, our dog's going crazy right now for some reason. Whining. She's throwing a pity party.
Well, she hears your voice and wants to play with you.
If you haven't stopped by some of these neighborhoods or driven through some of these neighborhoods or just hop on HAR and look around, it's really awesome to see what's happening in Houston because, that's great for your community. It's great to have just not just this massive sprawl happening, that we're continuously rejuvenating our city and making it new. And I mean, it just increases our home values. You want a good tip on where to find a good home, follow the HEB.
Yeah, that's a good one. And that's also, I was talking with a property manager, a guy that does, he's a full-time property manager, and he's been doing it for 20-something years. And he was saying where he recommends to buy properties, especially for rental purposes, is around HEBs and Home Depots. Yeah. Just because they do their homework. Yeah. And so those properties tend to, if you notice where most HEBs, or at least especially the newer ones, the newer HEBs and Home Depots, they're in fairly affluent areas.
Affluently gentrified air. Okay. I'm going to stop talking. Gentrification. That's it. So.
But we've got a property in Edo coming up. It's on the market this week. It'll be on the MLS, on HAR, on probably Friday is when we're putting it up. 3104 Garrow. And then also, we have 13111 Cheville. It's a house, beautiful house in Cyprus. It's a blue house. It's been redone on the inside and everything. The house did not flood. They got a little bit into the garage, but the house itself did not flood. Detached garage. As it's just lower than their house. But yeah, it's on the market, and so yeah, they're both gentrified. I would also even say the house on Cheville, it's kind of starting to gentrify the neighborhood.
Yeah. Great neighborhood.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much for joining in we know you're just here for Quentin, for his hair. So say goodbye. It's going goodbye on Saturday, like totally. So y'all enjoy it while you can. Maybe call him up. I hear he's accepting free lunch dates and coffee dates this week. So
sure.
Want to get him out in public, come buy this guy lunch. So
Yeah, but we got to sit together.
Yeah, same side of the booth is what he means. So, he won't. Awesome. We only have 3 more Q&A with Q&Ks this year in 2017.
I have not even looked at the calendar that far ahead,
I just did. It's in 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, like the end of the year is like in 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3.
And we'll be out of town there.
Anyway, hey, on the road. We'll take it on the road. Anyway.
Why not?
Okay, so we'd love to know what questions you have about real estate, business. We want
great hairdresser.
Where you need to get a great hairdresser. EscapeNowHouston.com, right? So if you have questions, Facebook us.
Scott. Ask for Scott.
Ask for Scott. Facebook message us or email us at info@thenationofrockwell.com. We'd love to know what you want to discuss here on Q&A with Q&K. Is that it?
Yeah. So Katsoika, I'll be over at your place either for the Garo or Shabil. Either one, we're good with that. I'll let's cancel.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and get that cash money from you.
Cash money, yo, in the morning.
Y'all have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.